don't touch me there.
Don't do that. Listen, we have a very, very important announcement.
Really?
Yeah,
I know exactly where I know what it is.
And I just feel like if you're gonna hear it from anybody, you should hear it from us. You
Absolutely.
should hear it from the people that we care about, and you should always stick to your dreams, stick to your word.
You want to
And make
land
sure you
those
track
dreams.
through
It's
life.
very important.
You do. Without further ado, if you guys don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, you're gonna see this. You're gonna see us talking about this, or bringing this important moment up a lot. So here it goes.
And that's the bottom line. Because the Master Shake says so.
That's our
Land those
inspiration right
dreams.
there. That's our he's the man that we're inspired by.
Yeah.
If you want to know like where all of our ideas come from, where everything comes from, what the energy that we get, we just watch that and boom, it clicks.
He is the best teacher since Sidney Poitier and To Sir with Love.
Well, he's a principal now, but he's all about
But he's teaching us. He's teaching us to be better,
Learning
better men.
Exactly. Learning never stops.
By not following his lead and falling through tables off of ladders.
That's an important distinction. That was more of a fall than it was a jump.
Yeah. Especially my favorite part in the world. You know what the best part about filmmaking is when you get, and I'm not a sound guy, but I'm right there with the sound guys because I get it. I work sound design and I worked on sound team, and I have such an affinity for the sound guys. And if you can get that perfect sound instead of having to do Foley or find a sound effect later, if you can get it on set, it makes your heart feel really good. Anybody who understands that. And that video has the perfect sneaker slip sound I've ever heard. We should sell that to Hollywood because they'll never find a better sneaker slip sound again.
Hold on. Let's go back to the clip because now I want to hear that again. I want to focus on that. I've been focused more on the visual than the sound.
When he goes to jump, you'll hear it.
You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go back to the clip.
Very good.
Okay. All right.
Do it again.
Yeah, I got it.
That's a good sound right there.
That's like the perfect precursor to the accident sound. Yeah.
Listen. He is just on another level of inspiration,
I gotta text him and just be like, we are analyzing your video.
Slow motion, scene by scene.
You should.
We are sports analyzing your fall video.
See the face of fear.
I just want to say that, Dan, you are the inspiration of Popcorn and Pints. We lived through you as you lived through that table, and we just want to thank you because you showed us the light. You opened the eyes of us all. I want to tell you Hakuna Matata, and I gotta say this as a friend. I would have held the ladder because I love you and I care about you, Dan. But the way that video went was perfect. Do it again.
No, don't do it again.
I had to send him that because we want to see that again.
You can't trust me holding the ladder.
Yeah, I think he needs a larger ladder.
I don't want him to get hurt though, so I don't want him to go too high. I would have just held the ladder for him so he doesn't. He would have probably still slipped, but the ladder would have stood up at least.
He would have slipped.
I believe him. He watched enough wrestling. He knows how to do it. I believe in him.
He didn't.
Honestly, he may have been better.
Do it correctly.
He may have been better going in like slippers or socks, something like a soft bottom. Yes, it would have been wet, but he wouldn't have slipped between the rubber of the rubber in the middle. Of the
That's what I'm saying. It's insane that he even climbed to the top of that ladder in wet sneakers on metal.
No, he did great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
he did. He made it up there. I was like, holy shit! And he spun around.
You're
was like,
absolutely
I
right.
was on
He
this
did
guy.
all of that perfectly. If you were like, hey, that was great. Like if they did that in the WWE, you'd be like, holy shit, that was. I mean, these are professionals. He did it perfectly. You're right, but he didn't land it. That was a botch. No jump, he fall.
Like I said, like a half a foot or a
But
foot.
for
before he would have
us,
stand its head on the wood only.
that's Master Shake though. That is what Shake is gonna do.
Yeah.
That's what Shake is gonna do, and I hope he does it again.
So wild, dude. And it
That's
was the perfect fall though. It was the
Yeah.
perfect fall because the ladder kicks back. He hits that table and it breaks perfectly.
Let's say this, man. Can we all agree that at least he can't? We know, as far as we know, he doesn't know how to do a backflip.
No, stop.
I'm just saying, he does not know how to do a backflip. He just
That
jumped off.
doesn't
of it.
sound
So
like encouragement at all.
no, I wouldn't encourage him to do that. Just to jump off.
Next,
I'm trying to
next
kill him.
challenge. In the summer, in a pool, he climbs the pool ladder. He has to do a backflip into one of those tubes.
No, he's gonna die, and it's gonna be our fault, and I don't want that for my friend. First of all, I think the youngest person in this show should be the one to do that.
Nah, black people don't do shit like that.
Yeah, okay.
Now that
Aaron,
default
Aaron
to the
can't
youngest-
swim.
to the youngest Caucasian. Who's that? How old? You guys are all like 40 something, right?
Aaron can't swim.
Oh,
That's,
this nigga can swim. Don't let that fool you. I don't swim
He
in
went
the
to
ocean and
Crystal
all that,
Lake. He had to learn.
that's true.
but the pools, I did go to. Camp
Aaron's like,
Crystal
you're not
Lake.
gonna try to trick me on a boat. I'll jump over and swim. I know how.
Fuck that. Nah, I ain't even
Who-
getting on the boat.
Who is the youngest Caucasian?
Aaron,
Yeah, who's the youngest out of you? How old are you, James?
I am 42. I just turned 42 in January.
Chris?
I'm 41.
Mick?
I'll be 43 next month.
Uh-oh.
Oh, all right. So it's you, Chris. You're the baby. Means you
No,
gotta do all
you
the
can't just pass it off because you have some rule about like
listen.
Being black.
I don't like I'm black.
It
It doesn't count.
I'm black. I'm black. I
Listen,
can't do it.
It counts. It counts. It's
You,
I don't
you're not
think it
gonna you're not
does.
gonna pull your fucking race card here.
That's like
I
you're
think-
saying, hey James, climb a ladder and dunk. I'm like,
I'm
I
pretty
can't.
sure
White
they just
people don't dunk.
outlawed that with an executive order.
that's I think what the executive order.
Yeah, DEI is not a thing anymore.
Well,
You
real
can't
nigga
have
is
it.
still a thing. RN. And I'm one of those, and we ain't doing that dumb shit.
You know what? I'm
Yeah,
gonna do?
exactly.
He says this,
DEI
I'm
is
gonna
not-
look, I bet I find more than 10 videos of black people doing stupid shit.
Oh, we do dumb shit, just not that. I mean, in those ones, that's the
There's gotta-
jackass
hey,
niggas. That's not me.
There's got to be black Bills fans out there that have gone through a table.
Listen. It's funny you say that. My barber is a Bills fan. That's the only black person I know that is a Bills fan.
Oh Jesus.
I'm not saying there's not black Bills fans out there, but shout out to you know what? Shout out to all the white sports fans that it'll be a blizzard. You guys just have your shirt off with whatever letter you have.
I'm
painted on your
white, and
chest.
I think that's insane.
Yeah. Are you guys that white? Please say no.
Or
I've
one,
painted
they
my-
have to pregame.
Hey,
They have to
being
get
drunk-
drunk so
Not
bad
being
they don't
drunk,
feel
Chris.
cold.
Not being drunk. Let's say you're sober doing this. If you're drunk,
was
that's
sober.
different.
Yeah, you'll die. You gotta
No,
feel
I have
warm.
not
You gotta
done it
get drunk.
outside. I have not done it at an outside event. I have gone to a pay-per-view wrestling in person back in the day with Shawn Michaels, and me
Oh,
and
hell
two
yeah.
buddies did HBK on our chests.
See, if it's warm or indoor, I would do that. I'd be down to do that. But outside in a blizzard, fuck that. That's a different
Oh,
level.
God,
of
no.
fucking-
I'm gonna tell you all. Listen, I've been deep diving into these fucking movies.
Hang on, Mick. You got to answer the question first. And then we'll get into the movies. We're talking about important stuff.
Wait, what's the question? What do I have to say?
I don't even know the question.
Sports
I
fan
don't
or
even
whatever type
know
of
what
fan,
the fuck
whatever
I'm
type of fan that you are.
I'm
it doesn't
not
even have to be
taking my
sports.
shirt off at a sports game. Is that the question you're asking me?
Would you take a
I'm
shirt
not
off in a
doing
blizzard and write a letter on your chest? It could be a movie thing. You're a scene
No, me? No.
like a film
It's a,
fest.
it's a
Like,
winter
why-
outside film premiere for your favorite movie. And
Or
There you
why would I have my shirt off in a blizzard?
Ask your
I
people.
guess-
I don't know.
I guess I had to run outside to save somebody or something. and my shirt
It's
has
not no
nothing to-
heroic shit. It's just because you're doing something that you enjoy doing.
it's an outdoor screening in the middle of winter of Two Girls, One
Yep.
Cup.
Oh,
And
You know what I
things-
enjoy doing? Staying
Jerking off?
inside during blizzards
Yeah.
with your shirt off.
with the shirt on.
Oh, you know what though? He does have
And a
that indoor,
blanket.
that fancy indoor fire pit, Chris. So
He
Yeah,
does.
indoor
Oh,
fire
the
pit.
indoor fire, the fancy indoor fire pit. I forgot about that.
yeah,
I forgot how that started. I don't even know how that started. Where I
it
have
was
a
Chris
trash
rambling
can.
on, but he's drunk.
Mr. Fancy over in the corner with his
Yep.
indoor fire
Great
pit.
pit. You got to invite us over for some shit like that. I'll roast some marshmallows or some shit with you guys.
Indoor marshmallow roasting. That
We're
is
cooking
wow. I
rats
clap.
over the trash can. This is our living room trash can. Welcome.
But it's a really nice fire pit. It's not even like the trash can. It's like a really expensive, really nice fire pit. He just decided he doesn't want to get bit by mosquitoes, so he just put it in for the
He just put it in. He put it inside somehow. It's a
What-
miracle of
what we
modern
do
science.
is
It's amazing.
We open the window and we blow a fan towards it.
He
And that's
drilled a
how
hole.
smoke goes
There's-
out.
Somebody
Smart.
drilled a hole in his roof and he lights a fire inside. It's wow.
Yep. He has a chimney, an indoor chimney. Yeah,
Indoor chimney.
an indoor chimney. I meant to say a self-made chimney. But people, listen, that's not why we're here. We're gonna get to why we're here first. The reason why we started the show like this because there's a lot of podcasts that start off with a bunch of bullshit before they get into the good shit. That's what we're doing for you guys. Besides this, I gotta show. And what you learn from that video, people, is don't wear condoms.
What?
This is the movies we're talking about tonight.
Listen,
We're
that table
bonding-
was not wearing a condom, and it got. It took it. It took it too hard.
exactly. So let's kick this off, guys.
I got a theory about the Bond women dying.
Wait. Out of the things that we're talking about tonight, Dan falling through a table is the best reminder of not to wear condoms, not James Bond.
No, James Bond is where you should wear a condom because he's
He's number
with
two.
A lot of women. He can catch
I
them.
have a theory about that. I think the women are better off that the one he sleeps with dies because it saves him from a long thing of syphilis dying because he's spreading that shit worldwide.
He is spreading something. He is spreading something continent to continent.
Oh,
No,
definitely.
we're not glossing over this. James just said it's better they die.
Yeah. A quick death. So they don't have to suffer.
Penicillin.
Hey, did they have penicillin?
Okay.
Oh, no, they probably did
Listen,
have penicillin.
here's some Bond shit, right? So we've all have you guys seen the James Bond Jr. commercial or commercial cartoon? cartoon.
No.
No,
You never seen it?
Oh,
Wait, who said no?
no, I haven't
I've
seen it.
I've
Was
seen
there
it.
one?
Yeah,
All right,
in the
raise your hand
90s.
if you've seen the James Bond Jr. commercial to make this a little bit easier.
The cartoon.
No? Cartoon. I keep saying commercial.
Nope.
So I just Googled, was James Bond a junior? James Bond in the movies was not a junior. However, there's a character, James Bond Jr. in the 1991 animated series. He's a junior, which means, and he's 003, which means 007 has an animated child. The real life.
Mhm.
Yes, it does. Here's how it
Oh.
happens, James. He's been going raw for 25 movies. Once you go
Yeah.
raw for 25
There's-
movies,
There's
That
no way
26
there isn't a
movie-
James Bond Jr. somewhere.
Okay,
You're
all right.
gonna have an
Well,
animated
let's
child.
figure out this math then. So, how old is James Bond Jr.? That's what we need to ask next.
well,
Yeah, because
Okay,
then you
hold
could
on.
narrow it down
First
to the
off-
years.
Hold on. I've been keeping the poontang count. So
Yeah, no, that's my. Oh shit, I didn't type anything.
through On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is the second of the movies we've watched, he is officially up to 18
fuck.
women.
It's the
Hold up.
fucking.
In
Listen,
four
listen.
movies. In 4 movies.
In the
Six.
James Bond Jr. cartoon series, James Bond Jr. is typically portrayed as a teenager, usually around 13 or 14.
These
Okay,
were
so
all,
let's
and
say
all of
he
these
was-
were in the 60s.
I think he drives. Well, all of these were. I could figure it out though.
Hold on. Actually, you know what? Sorry, no. I found another thing. It says he's 17 years old. So 17.
17. I think that should be the cutoff. So 1991. What's 17
Okay.
years before 1991? Somebody else do the math.
January 1st, 1974.
1974.
74.
Wait. Is that 9 months prior?
Ah.
So
9 months
74.
prior to
Majesty's
that.
Secret Service was 69, so we haven't even hit the 70 movies.
So you need
yet.
something that's like 73-ish.
So 73-ish would be Live and Let Die. Yeah, because 71 was Diamonds Are Forever.
Hang on. James Bond. Oh, that's James Bond's birthday. So November 11th. I was going to try to figure out James Bond Jr.'s birthday. If we can figure that out, then we can really break this down. See, listen, people, we're doing a real deep dive on this James Bond shit. We're trying to figure out how old his son is, or something about his son.
Solitaire. Solitaire has to be James Bond Jr.'s mom. She's the one that survives, and she's played by Jane Seymour.
That's fair.
There you go.
A very young Jane Seymour.
We found the mother. And
so Roger Moore's version, which just to let everybody know, and I'm keeping up to this because I am on Octopussy now. So like I am way ahead, but I'm doing it because I'm also reviewing them on my channel.
The Scene Snobs, go check it out. It's a dope channel, by the way, people.
Yeah, and they're more like behind the scenes legacy sort of like reviews, not like these where they're in depth. Yeah, so it has to be Live and Let Die. So okay, cool. All right, I like that. And she was a fortune teller too. That's the one with that's the one with that's what we were talking about before the show.
She knew that penis was going in her ahead of time.
Yep.
More than one head.
1973.
1973. Okay. So that's when it would have been. That's when it works. And sweet, we just figured out another thing.
You're welcome.
Into the James Bond mythology.
See, we do this for you people. We do this for you guys.
Now someone has to write it into Wikipedia, so it's a fact.
It's
it's a PNP fact.
No, this better become a clip. You better clip this and say we figured it out.
James Bond Jr.'s mom.
I'm gonna send it to you, Mick, because I know I'm not gonna clip it.
That's
long.
That is only one of 19 kids that he has, I'm sure, though. So
the rest are well. I'm not going to say there isn't others. Oh, one thing I will solidify for anybody as you guys go on. Yes, George Lazenby, Connery, and Moore are the same James Bond.
It's for the first 6 movies?
Yeah. So like
because James Bond's a cool name.
I haven't seen the Dalton ones yet to see if they are tied in the same way. I know Brosnan is different, but he is connected to Daniel Craig. So, but yeah. So just so everybody knows that.
Well, just so everybody knows this too, James Bond Jr. was 65 episodes from 1991.
I remember it was pretty fun. I liked it. I mean, I was a kid in '91. I was 9.
Yeah,
I may go back to Johnny Quest.
Oh, I remember Johnny Quest. The adventurous kid. I like doing it. I like this stuff because I always like adventuring.
Yeah.
Saddest day of my life is when I realized adventurer wasn't a job.
That's
some bullshit.
Real bummer. That is
great, like DuckTales too.
Woo!
Oh man, I wish.
Watching. So yeah, we finally hit the first movie without Sean Connery, with George Lazenby for Honor Majesty Secret Service.
On YouTube. James Bond Jr. is on YouTube, all 65 episodes, just in case you guys want to watch that.
He's obsessed with the James Bond Jr.
So for people that haven't watched James Bond and go back and watch the early Connery movies and think these are pretty campy, you get to George Lazenby, and then you have a new appreciation of those fucking Sean Connery movies beforehand. Because
we're getting ahead of ourselves. Come on,
George Lazenby sucks.
All right, come on. Let's start with the one before. You Can Only Live Twice.
Oh,
I've been holding that in for almost 20 minutes now.
You get the back half to shit on Lazenby.
But
argue for that movie too. Just
kick it off, Mick, because I know you have a lot to say.
All right, so I think there's some interesting stuff here. So You Can Only Live Twice, 1967, Sean Connery's 5th Bond film featuring Blofeld, where you finally see him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He was always the one with the cat. I will also say this, an interesting fact. Blofeld is never played by the same actor twice.
Yep.
So he's different in everything, and it's brilliant. So released in 1967, You Can Only Live Twice was based loosely on Ian Fleming's 1964 novel of the same name. This was Sean Connery's fifth outing as Bond, and the first where Blofeld's face is revealed, like I said. And in this movie, Blofeld is played by Donald Pleasance. If you remember him, he was played Dr. Loomis in the Halloween series. He was in The Great Escape. He was in Wake and Fright, a bunch of really cool movies that you should go check out. Yes, and he was the first Blofeld where you saw his face. The film embraced over-the-top spectacle, including an iconic hollowed-out volcano lair, heavily influencing spy films and pop culture. Screenplay was written by Roald Dahl, who wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and other very famous works, who had no prior experience writing for Bond, but was a friend of Fleming. So I thought that was interesting. So the plot is basically, story follows Bond's mission to Japan, which is going to be a controversial conversation, I'm sure, to investigate the hijacking of U.S. and Soviet spacecrafts, a plot orchestrated by Spectre's Blofeld, hoping to ignite World War III. Bond fakes his own death, disguises himself as a Japanese fisherman, and teams up with Japanese Secret Service agent Tiger Tanaka and Bond girl Kissy Suzuki. Features the famous Little Nelly autogyro chase scene, a compact aircraft loaded with missiles and machine guns. And
that thing was awesome.
It was real. That was
Yeah.
A couple more things just to kind of cover. Sean Connery was fed up with Bond at this point and announced his retirement from the role during production. He disliked the excessive attention from fans and the lack of privacy while filming in Japan. Donald Pleasance wasn't the original Blofeld. John Reich, Weirich, I'm sorry, was initially cast, but was replaced after just a few days after appearing too grandfatherly. That's pretty funny. The volcano lair set was massive, costing $1 million, about $9 million today. One of the most expensive sets ever built at Pinewood Studios in the UK. The concept of the cat stroking villain in Secret Base became a cliche for Bond films, inspired Dr. Evil and Austin Powers.
Mm-hmm.
The film introduced ninjas into the Bond universe, capitalizing on the rising global fascination with Japanese culture. It grossed $111.6 million worldwide, a massive hit, though slightly less than its predecessor, Thunderball, criticized for its over-the-top sci-fi elements and Connery's visible lack of enthusiasm. However, it's beloved for its memorable set pieces, John Barry's sweeping score, and Donald Pleasance's iconic portrayal of Blofeld, heavily influenced later Bond films and even the Mission Impossible franchise. That's what I got.
Inspector Gadget, too. The evil dude with the cat.
Inspector Gadget, yep. Yeah, 100%.
And what the fuck? Did you say the fucking movie I hate?
Blood Lake?
No, not that. The spoof of Bond.
Austin Powers?
Austin Powers.
Yeah, that one I said, but yeah, it's definitely Inspector Gadget.
Fuck that movie.
No,
Fuck
but
that
is like that became like an iconic villain trademark, is them in a chair petting a cat.
I wonder what it is with the cat. Like just in a chair petting a cat versus just sitting in a chair.
I think for a long time, remember, like they showed Blofeld in other movies, but it was just a hand petting a cat talking. I think that was just to get, because they probably didn't have an idea who they wanted to be the Bond villain, but probably wanted to be somebody locked in, which is ironic. So you get to this one where they're going to show him, they finally have Donald Pleasance, which was a name, and they just kept with the cat theme because they had that before.
I was gonna say though, the cool thing about it though is that they it's like across the board with the whole villain. You don't see the face, you just see them like kind of just petting the cat. Which I think I really do feel like that's a really, really, really cool fucking thing they pulled from Bond and kind of just put it, like you said, Inspector Gadget and that Dr. Evil bullshit and
Why do
other
you hate
shit.
those movies?
Because it's fucking stupid, it's not funny, and just fuck it. And I have nothing against what's his face, because he was awesome in Trek, but these movies just fucking suck.
An animated movie that he voiced?
No, I'll watch him. I'll definitely. If you guys want to watch him review him, I'll definitely watch him review him and talk shit about him. I'm just saying, and maybe I'll feel different. I don't know. I haven't seen him in years. Plus,
No, but this is for the newer generation. This is almost the spy equivalent. I would build up. I would say of Thanos in Marvel. Like you were introducing a character in like what 2 movies before this, hinting at him, stuff like that, and then now you finally have a reveal.
I can't. So the funny thing about Blofeld is because you see him in these 2 movies, and they're played by 2 completely different actors. One's an English actor, the other one's an American actor. Yep. And then when you wait till you get to Diamond,
the only thing I could fixate on in watching Majesty's Secret Service was like the drastic difference in the eye, because in fucking You Only Live Twice, he has like the overhang there. He's like got like the drooping eye with like the extra skin. Second one is just a bald guy. His eyes are fine. Like voice is different. Like this, he's more active. Like this is
it's Charles Gray who plays him in Diamonds Are Forever, and it's just completely different looking dude from them, and has longer hair. So it gets wild from there, and then you don't see Blofeld again for okay. So you see him in Live and Let Die, and they dispatch him very quickly. They have a cold open where they're just basically like, we're not dealing with Blofeld or Spectre or any of that shit, and he's going forward, and like let you know that quickly, and they never touch down on him again or Spectre. Again, I can't wait to see the Timothy Dalton one, see what happens there. I know it comes back in the Daniel Craig movies, so I'm looking forward to that. But there is a Blofeld in the 80s, in 1981, and that is again the Thunderball remake, Never Say Never Again, played by Max von Sydow, who played the Father Marion in The Exorcist. So,
oh shit, my brother said something.
There's so many.
What's good, you black son of a bitch? How's it going, nigga? Ahoy, ahoy.
Oh, calm down. I mean, you were talking about zombie sex 3 episodes ago.
Or James. Oh, no, you were talking about zombie grape, not even zombie sex. You're talking about zombie grape. That's
tomato, tomato.
No. And that's not racist. That's we're both niggas. We're all niggas.
Speaking of racist, are we going to talk about this Japanese face?
Yeah, by the way, this is the most racist of the James Bond movies so far.
He's hunching over to act like he's short, like the Asians.
They literally give him like a fake all kinds of fake cosmetics. The dude's one step away from brown face.
He didn't look like Japanese anyway.
Basically, the way I looked at this movie, because they kind of told him to do it, would be if I was like, yo, Chris, James, Mick, listen, go blackface. Just come with me and go black.
No.
But what I don't like,
but no,
they don't establish there's a point where it actually tricks somebody. Like he's blended in to the group of people they are going to be with. Who are they trying to fool?
But who are they? Yeah, who are they fooling anyway? Because they know who he is.
Yeah,
they know who he is the minute he's wearing a mask when he gets to the guy's lairs, and they know exactly who he is right off the bat. What was the purpose of making him Japanese?
There was no purpose whatsoever to it.
Would the ninjas not let him practice if he wasn't Japanese?
Even though he had walked through there wearing a suit as white as you could look on a tour.
It's not the same guy.
Not the same guy. This is a super tall Japanese guy that's taller than every other Japanese guy here.
And I guess you can't go to the other the island unless you're married. So he had to marry a chick, like a fake marriage.
Got killed real quick though.
Oh yeah, she did.
If any woman that gets married to James Bond or anywhere close to that, you know they're dying.
Dude, Dan just texted me and said that he's doing the ChatGPT roasting. What is wrong with mine? Why is it being a coach? And it's just kind of like badgering me.
They want you to better yourself, Mick. The rest, it's just like, you know what? This is where this is you.
You gotta do round 2. Maybe it'll be like actually jokes against you instead of
Mix
turning
Mix
around.
is the only one that gets a still you can turn this around type.
Yeah, the other ones are just like, listen, this is pretty much where your life is.
It's over for you.
Yeah, this is who you are. Mix is just like, listen, you can better yourself still.
You're on your way, buddy. Stop having
What makes that funny is Mick is upset about that. Like he wants to be roasted. Like, listen, you suck. This is all you do. This is all you talk about. Fuck you.
You know what bugs me too is the fact that for me with this roasting thing, like, yeah, I do want to be roasted, but it feels like it feels like a kindergarten teacher trying to hold your hand, but also but I'm not sure if you got what it takes.
They're giving you backhanded compliments, like you can't understand them, and it's fantastic.
They ran up to James and won a little. That's true. They did.
Yeah,
that thing, man.
Little Nelly.
We're gonna do round 2 and see if I get really bad ones. I hope they're jokes because.
Okay, no, look at James Bond. I got a problem with this. So we see, like you said, the dude is in this one. Is this the? Yeah, this is the volcano one, right?
Yeah.
So
that looks so bad. By the way,
so the dude, the evil guy, the bad guy, was it Blumfield? What something?
Blofeld.
Blofeld. He sits there. They're like, "You're coming with me, Bond." While ninjas are coming, he opens the door. He says like a little fucking like lecture to Bond, and he shoots his own guy. Instead of shooting Bond there, he goes, "Come with me." Then he gets in the cart like he's going to drive away, aims the gun. I'm going to shoot you now.
Stupid. Like Eddie, just fucking shoot him. Like,
That's
no,
what I'm
I
saying.
can't kill you. It's like they're looking at their watch. No, I don't want to kill you to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's wild. They're
Maybe
having a
you
walk
got double
around.
that
He's telling them how everything
He's
works.
shooting his own people all around Bond. And like, what the?
Dropping them in a freaking piranha tank.
The piranhas. That's right. This one has the piranhas.
Then they got
That's
that big, the like Nazi-looking white dude. That's always like a bouncer, like the bodyguard.
Donald Trump isn't in this movie. Neither is Elon.
That fat
fuck those guys. Fuck both of them. Fuck Nazis. If you're doing this hand signal, fuck you.
These ninjas had guns. They're
If you got a problem with it, eat a dick. Matter of fact, eat a. Never mind.
Oh.
Wow.
Listen, if you're throwing
That's
that
my
Nazi
favorite actor from Home Alone 2 and my favorite actor from Iron Man 2. You calm
There you
down.
go.
Well,
Was
I
he
don't
in
give a
Iron Man
fuck.
2?
Best act Iron Man 2. He is. Yeah, he's great.
He said he is. Yeah, this is great.
Canada cut him out of Home Alone 2 when they showed that.
Canada needs to put him back.
That's why
How's he going to find the concierge. How does Kevin find the desk?
That's
without
why
that man.
Trump's trying to tariff the hell out of him. That's why, because he got cut out of their version of Home Alone 2.
Okay, can I rant for a second?
Of course,
because I am really pissed about these movies that are getting edited. It's bullshit. First of all, God, I'm so disgusted by it. For real,
I am with you on that. The editing, the movies and shit. Like once it's out, it's out.
Like Amazon cut out the fucking whole part of It's a Wonderful Life. That's the most important part. When he was never born.
Yeah.
When he sees his life without, what the world would be without him. They cut it out.
So the movie makes no sense then.
So he gets to where he wants to commit suicide, but instead of pretending that, they cut it in a way where he just saves him, and he goes to bridge because he's to say a prayer because he's sad or whatever, and then they cut it. He goes and he saves him, and then they're in the thing. They talk and they cut it so Clarence goes, "See, George, you really did have a wonderful life," and then he runs back to this house, and then it does the normal ending after all of that.
Makes zero fucking sense.
It's disgusting. It's like, for me, that hurts. That hurts so much. The core of everything. And listen, I've heard a lot. Listen, Fox News. I've heard a lot about War on Christmas. Get on that shit. The billionaires. Get on that. Fix it. That's a War on Christmas movies right there. Jerks.
I agree.
Stop cutting it, you jerks.
Yeah, I know.
I hate that. Like I do. I hate when movies are cut like that. I almost get annoyed when like they like recut it to redistribute it too. It's like fucking assholes.
It's weird though. Like I don't like that cut either because it, like you're saying, it takes away from the story, it takes away from the movie, it takes away from the experience, it takes away from the moments or moment, whatever that is. Even with the bitch ass being in Home Alone 2, because we remember it takes away.
I listen. Joe Pesci is no bitch ass.
Oh,
all right?
we're not talking about Joe
He's
Pesci.
from New Jersey. Daniel Stern, you son of a
That's
No, I'm not talking about him either.
That's
I'm talking
where
about
my
the
mind
dude.
went.
buzz.
I'm talking about the dude that
No,
got
no,
his-
You gotta be
his-
careful.
actor.
I'm talking about the dude that got a little
Listen.
glass in his ear.
You gotta
Obviously,
be
his
careful.
parents.
He might put a.
But
sheriff on him.
Obviously, his
listen.
parents suck, but there's no need to attack him like that.
Yeah, they did leave a kid to go to New York City by himself. That is pretty horrible. And there was only one man to save him.
You know what's crazy is that if that was black parents, they would have been in jail.
Listen, if you really want to think about it, and I'm going to give this to them right now. I hope they are listening. If it wasn't for Donald Trump in Home Alone 2, Kevin could have died. And in Iron Man 2, if Elon Musk wasn't there and friends with Tony Stark, making us realize that maybe he pushed Tony Stark to be a better version of himself, meaning we got saved from Thanos.
So basically, what you're saying
You're
is
By
Donald
a
Trump
South
and Elon Musk
African.
should just stick to the movies, not the real life shit, because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're fucking up. Fuck both of you. That's what he's saying. And if he's not saying it, that's what I'm saying.
I think Bruce Wayne put it best. Give all of your money away and
Bruce
be
Wayne
Batman. that's Bruce Wayne's that billionaire's take.
Bruce Wayne, and Shake are inspirations.
That's true.
Let's dive back into.
Anyway, what are your favorite parts about You Only Live Twice? You can only live twice. Let's
He banes the bad guy's woman super quick.
Yep.
Good
Fast
one.
as hell.
he does.
What's the
Super
bang
quick.
count in this movie, by the way? Since you mentioned that,
Oh,
just in this one.
Hold on.
The second one has more. He was going back to back.
No, he banes 3 women in this movie. I don't even remember them all.
it was the woman in the beginning, the Chinese woman, and the reason I said
That's
because
that's how
is
it starts out as racist when he goes, "Why do Chinese
Oh.
women taste different?"
That was the
They get real
crazy-
racist real fast.
Yeah, they do.
That was crazy. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So it gets racist real quick. But Little Nelly, I enjoyed. I thought like them chasing him with the helicopters. That was great. That was one of my favorite parts of this movie.
That's what I like about these. Is like they make that this stuff was real that they would use.
It's ridiculous, but at the same time, you're into it.
And it comes in, you got to put it together.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And the
Like
whole
something
team.
it's like something you could have bought at a KB Toys at the time.
Yeah.
KB fucking toys.
Dude, can I just continue on with my praise of Q and the fact that Q is he just always shits on James.
He does. He really does, and that's fantastic.
It is the best.
Like you don't want to deal with his bullshit.
Or when they are in the car and they're being chased by the black sedan and the helicopter comes in and picks them up with a magnet and then it just drops them in the fucking ocean.
I want to say something, but I love that scene. As a matter of fact, Mick was me and Mick watched most of this one together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when that scene happened, I remember watching that and I'm just like, this is the shit I was expecting from like the first Bond movie. This is some Bond shit for me, like this type of shit. And it didn't disappoint with that. Like as cheesy as it was, I fucking loved it because it was just like a big ass fucking I wasn't expecting that. A big ass magnet just grabbed
I've
that
seen
car.
that in a lot of movies too.
No, I've seen it before, and what I was thinking from it, because like a lot of times when you see that, from my experience at least, is you see it whether it be the good guy or the bad guy, where they're gets that magnet shit picked up, it just gets them to safety. This motherfucker just dropped him right in the water. Like, nah, fuck this. Fuck safety. We're dropping you in the ocean. Or whatever type of body water that is.
I assumed they were taking them to be arrested and they just dropped them right in the ocean. I'm like, all right, I'm down.
Peace. Bye.
His cigarette
Later.
rocket, his little cigarette rocket.
Oh, his little
That was
bullet
awesome.
gun.
That was awesome.
Like
That
the
was a
gadget,
little-
the gadgets are always
Oh,
one of the best
Mom.
parts.
My mom's
Oh.
made a comeback. She's here.
Say that again.
My mom's here.
Hi.
Mama, you're back. Finally.
All the
Finally.
devils are here is a good title.
She's listen, she's proud of us again, guys.
Oh,
Proud of us again. She disappeared for like a year. We were really disappointed her, but
Well, it's James Bond, man. We're back
Yeah.
on it.
Is this the same one where he escapes the airplane when the girl jumps out of it?
No,
No, I'll mix that up.
no.
See, I
There's,
blame him.
there is one when there's one with a big, but that's not until later. That's Spy of Shagney, where there's a big like jumps out of the airplane, like fighting.
I thought when he's in there, like that board across his arms. and she
no, that
jumps
is
out,
this one.
And he had a break.
Oh yes, I'm
Helicopter
sorry.
coming.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant like
This is after he
jumped out of
banes. Yep, this is after he banes the bad guy's woman. He thinks they're, and she's taking him, gonna meet him somewhere, and then she handcuffs him. And
I would be wood. It should be metal. They had a wood board go across his arms.
yeah. And he just broke through. She still loves us, by the way. Which
Me too.
dude, I'm going to talk about that scene really quick, James, because the chick that was in there with him, she puts the board over his hands. She makes the shit smoky. This motherfucker does not cough one fucking time. There's
No,
no.
oh my god.
Not
Dude,
only
dude,
that,
how about when he wiggles his arm out and like all of a sudden he knows karate kung fu grip and he like just chops the table in half?
Yeah.
Exactly. There's that, and like there's no coughing. You see all the smoke, like when it's like outside the helicopter, it looks like it's smoky in there. You go inside, which reminds me of How High, and there's no smoke in the helicopter at all. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on.
And Mick, I agree with you. James Bond, this whole movie franchise is about his superpower of being luck.
It is. He's the luckiest motherfucker. Like we talked about it last week. I've never seen anybody go from so close to dying to baning faster than James Bond.
He's not that cunning. He doesn't
No.
really put the puzzle pieces together.
No,
He can investigate. He understands how to talk to witnesses and like things like that, or possible informants or whatever. Like he gets the idea of the social aspect of the investigation and such. Instead of actually collecting evidence, he just goads the bad guys into being pissed off enough to fuck up.
Yeah. He
And
literally
then he wins by luck.
he
I
knows
know-
who they are, and then he just willingly goes into their plan, goes with them, does whatever
fucks
just
with 'em, yeah.
to annoy
He
him.
does.
And
He's
he's
a
like,
bad spy,
I'm too
too.
fucking lucky to die, so let's roll with this.
I agree with that, Aaron. So far, I think he's a shitty spy that
He's fucking
gets
terrible.
lucky.
Yo,
Gets
there's-
lucky,
there's a-
solves the case.
there's a scene in the movie where he's just hiding right next to a filing cabinet, not behind it, just literally just crouching next to it, and they don't see him. How? I don't fucking know. Like
I
he
even
makes all
said
kinds
that
of
while we were
movies.
watching that scene, and I go, check out this spy maneuver. The door opens and he hides behind a filing cabinet. They run into the room, and then he just hauls ass out of the room.
Exactly. Yeah. As soon as those because what happens in that scene is like he goes into the room, right? He grabs.
So
He steals
odd
something.
when he runs.
He
it.
steals
Looks
something
like
from
me.
that safe. The alarm goes off. He goes into that room,
Yeah.
and then he tries to go to those doors. To that door, the door doesn't open until those guys come through it. He sits right in the fucking open, just sitting behind a file cabinet, then runs out the door. I'm like, what the fuck? Come on, James.
Yeah,
Oh my
You
yeah,
should
God.
be a better spy than this. You should be a better fucking spy. You're horrible as a spy. And the henchmen just suck too because they don't see you till they'll see you later on when you get yourself trapped because of pussy, and you follow the chicks all the I'm telling you right now. Here's how you can get rid of James Bond. Just hook him up with a chick that has some nasty ass disease. He's done because he's gonna hit it.
Yeah.
He's gonna hit
Or,
it.
just,
No,
or
he's
instead of
lucky.
waiting to kill him, just fucking shoot him when you see him.
The women is his weakness.
It is.
He has to bang
No,
them.
they're not.
It don't matter who it is.
No, they're not. Think about it. How is it a weakness? He has sex with
No,
them.
I'm saying they can
They
use it
betray
as a
him.
weak.
He moves on. he's still alive. He's
True.
still okay.
All the women
fact,
are dead.
Only one of the women that dies in any of these movies so far, we'll talk about in the next one, means anything really, truly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's his
Well,
wife.
Oh yeah, he shows no remorse when someone dies.
No,
He's
not
like,
at
oh
all.
yeah, she's dead. Whatever.
No, but even
No.
when they betray him, like he's still like nothing happens.
It's his plan B. He's like, yeah, it got taken care of. Walks out.
That's true. Wow. Wow.
Shit, yo.
Oh my god.
That's why he doesn't have more kids than we think, because he gets
Matter of
up the
fact,
bill.
that's why they call it Plan B. They don't call it Plan Bond. They call it Plan B. They give you a pill because the bond way is just too damn it's too damn violent and dangerous.
B,
Oh my
James,
god.
his plan B stands for be gone.
Yes.
Guys, he's British, he's white, he's not wearing a condom.
He's
No.
definitely not wearing a condom.
It's just like it's over. He's like, listen, I'm
Especially like when we get to the second movie, because he bangs the one. He don't even shower. He goes, "I'll meet you at 9." He goes to the other.
Hang on.
No,
Since we're talking about him banging,
The second movie,
can we bring this up really quick?
the
Because
second
this
movie
right
turns
here.
into James Bond's House of Horrors. That's what it should be called.
Can we talk about this right here though? Like how I believe it was this one, right? Where the first words that come out of this motherfucker's mouth is, "Why do Chinese women taste
Yeah.
different?"
Okay. All right.
I wasn't
On
mad
top
at the
of that,
question.
though, so the reason they had to turn him Japanese is because it lives up to the title. You can only live twice. They faked his death. Okay, and here's my point. They faked his death because he was too well known of a spy that he was on like Spectre's hit list and such. Blofeld wanted him dead, and they needed him to go to Japan for a mission. Why? Is there no other person in the 00 program who's
007,
not
Bond.
James Bond? Because I guarantee you they are skilled spies, and James Bond's just like lucked his. James Bond is a DEI hire in the MI6.
Yeah, where's 001 to 6? Where the hell are they?
It's like that. What movie is it when they're like, "What's your super?" Oh, it's Deadpool 2 when Domino comes in. What's your superpower? Luck.
Luck.
Yep,
Luck's not a
exactly.
superpower. It is in the James Bond universe because
James Bond has more luck than a fucking 4-leaf clover.
Yeah, he's
Come on,
yeah,
man.
he does. He really.
If we go back to what was the first or the second film where you have the helicopter coming at him, shooting at him from the car to him just running, nothing happens. Nothing fucking happens. Then in this one, this nigga's a ninja getting shot at.
No,
Everybody
and
else
not
around
only
him
is
gets
he a
shot.
ninja, he becomes a ninja in like a matter of days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
Can we go back?
I
to
didn't even show using it really.
Can we go back to the faked his death in the weirdest way possible?
Oh yeah.
Because he was in a British Navy death or burial at sea.
It happens.
Why? But why? Like because he wanted to get him down to.
You know what's funny though?
There's so many submarines in this franchise.
I like this movie. It's way better than I like the next one.
Oh, really?
No, it was like
Yeah.
it was fun, but
this
it was
movie
just
is still
ridiculous.
fun.
It was more fun than the second one, than the one we're gonna talk about in a little bit, and the gadgets and shit. I just had so much fucking fun with this
Wow,
one.
Chris and Sturdy are just wrong for once.
But while we're here,
You can go fuck
let's
yourself.
dive into the ratings for this one. And Mick, I want you to kick this one off if you don't mind, good sir. What do you rate?
You only live twice. I will give a 5.5. It was fun.
Okay.
It's not one of my most favorite in the franchise so far.
And if you guys want to know, Mick is our DEI hire on Popcorn and Pints. We don't pay him though. We don't even get paid ourselves.
No, I've earned my merit as a Yeti.
He is. He's 6'8". He's our 6'8" DEI hire. We need somebody
I've
to talk.
learned how to speak from the Himalayan.
He handles the tall people.
Yetis.
He does. He's our JPB. Well, my JBP. He's my Jersey polar bear.
Jersey polar bear. There you go.
Oh, you gotta switch the B and the P. That's why I read it like that.
JBP. Jersey. Oh yeah, you're right.
Bear
Jersey
polar.
bear polar.
Jersey
Jersey bear puncher.
Jersey Bear Puncher, aka
Bear of the
Jersey
Polar
Bear.
Persuasion.
Bear of the Polar Persuasion.
Chris, what do you rate this one?
I'm going with the 6.
6. James?
I'm with Chris 6.
I'll give this one a 6.5.
All right.
Give this one a 6.5.
Well, when you let me know, and I'll kick it off.
Yes. I think I'm Japanese. I really think so.
I'm Japanese. I really think so.
Are you hunched
Yo,
over and have little
let's
bags up,
talk about
bag
that, though.
implants under your eyes? Because apparently that's all it takes.
This movie made me realize Blofeld had a thing for redheads, and everyone appearance. Yeah, that's true. He does always have a redhead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little fiery.
Out to you,
Which,
Mo.
by the way, please, everyone that's commenting, please
He's
follow
into
Popcorn
fire
and Pints.
crotches.
What's
He
the
is.
Tim Mimosa moment in You Can Only Live Twice? What's everybody's Tim Mimosa moment?
I forgot about
His
that.
tip for me, it's fucking the filing cabinet hiding. Why? No. It's the ninja shit when they're shooting guns and he's like he's out in the open, does not get hit. How? I don't know, but like everybody else dies damn near, and they get everybody. But he's out in the open, like hiding next to barrels as they're shooting down. It's not like they're shooting like, you know what I mean? Shooting down. So it's like, I can still see your stupid ass. Like, yes, you're next to this barrel. I can see you from upstairs, man. I can get you. So that is the Tim Mimosa moment for me.
My Tim Mimosa moment is when at the raft at the end. When
That's the second time it happened so far. Him trying to have sex in a raft.
Listen,
Dude,
man,
all
there's
the
a lot
other-
of submarines in this franchise. I'm telling you that.
There
now.
are literally 10 I don't understand that because they throw down like 10 or more rafts for all the people for their own people.
Yeah.
Like, and then somehow they only leave the raft that has James Bond and the girl.
One.
Like, there's not a single other raft to be found anywhere. Like, they'll never find us. Like, why did they fucking leave you there and pick up everybody else? And then the sub just comes up out of the water.
Dude.
Then they say, don't leave him alone, let him bang.
Yeah. You know, James is like,
No, Money Penny is happy to interrupt them.
Oh my god. Man.
Oh my
god.
I can't think. I don't know. I need to start thinking this while I'm watching it.
I got to think about it while I watch it. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I just thought about just because those scenes that I mentioned, both of those scenes really stuck out as like a Tim Mimosa, like a dumbass moment. And that there, yo, the being out in the open shooting and getting shot at, fucking no cover, just again next to those fucking barrels, which I feel like whatever was in those barrels was flammable. Like if the barrel got hit, that's just gonna explode. But
I'm changing my Tim Mimosa moment is when he goes to save the other astronaut, the cosmonauts, and he walks in, he goes, "Here to help you," or whatever, and like he hides off to the side and just lets all of the guards come in and start fighting the guys. He joins in, but not until you get to like the fourth one.
Yeah.
That's a Tim Mimosa moment.
Tim Mimosa moment.
So crazy. I can't stand it. Bothered me because it's every movie where the villain has him right in his face, aim a gun pointed at him, they could just pull the trigger. And they don't.
Every time.
Luck,
fucking
dude.
drives
Luck.
me insane.
Luck.
That's why when it started, when that fake death, they lit him up. I was like, oh, they're replacing James Bond with a new character. They actually killed him.
I know
No,
why.
I was wrong.
I know why. I know why now. I thought about it. Every villain, first of all, he sleeps with pretty much every villain's girl.
Oh,
Yeah, that's-
all 100%. And they
He's
don't
also
put up a
hooking
fight.
up with other women on top of it.
Yeah.
And usually the other women he's working with, the bad guys want them too, and he's still hooking up with them. So I think it comes down to it's just envy and that's turning into like a hatred, but it's like there's this ego there that's like he has to see my plan through. That's how I get back at him. So they're just basically angry friend zone guys. All the James Bond villains are angry friend zone guys.
That's a good philosophy. I like that.
Oh,
Friends
all right,
only.
are we going with the next one here?
Yeah, you ready?
Yes, sir.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service, 1969, George Lazenby's first and only outing as Bond, the most emotional
Appropriate.
007. Released in 1969, this was the first Bond film without Sean Connery. The studio cast Australian model George Lazenby, a relative unknown after Connery stepped away. Directed by Peter Hunt, who wanted to create a more realistic, character-driven Bond film closer to the Fleming novels. The movie is now considered one of the best Bond films, but it was met with mixed reactions at the time. So give it about 30, 40 years. The plot overview for this is Bond goes undercover in Switzerland to infiltrate Blofeld's operation, discovering a plot involving a biological warfare at a mountaintop clinic. He falls in love and marries Tracy Di Vincenzo. Also, it is important to note, because you'll see it in later Bond films, Teresa is her real name. And they do say that in this movie. So played by Diana Rigg, who is famous from the Avengers. A first for Bond, where he falls in love. The film's tragic ending, where Tracy is murdered by Blofeld's forces, is one of the most emotional moments in the franchise. Behind the scenes trivia: George Lazenby was discovered through a modeling gig. He had no acting experience before landing the role, and that shows. He walked into the Bond auditions with a Rolex, a Connery-style haircut, and a tailored suit from Connery's own barber. Impressing producers, Lazenby was offered a 7-film contract, but turned it down, believing Bond would become outdated in the 1970s. Well, fuck you too. Diana Rigg, Tracy, and Lazenby reportedly did not get along, and at one point she allegedly ate garlic before a kissing scene to mess with him. The ski chase scenes, yeah. Oh, she's also famous. She was the old lady, Natalie Dormer's like mother or grandmother in Game of Thrones.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that's her. The ski chase scenes revolutionized action cinematography shot using helmet-mounted cameras, a first at the time. The film grossed $82 million, less than Connery's Bond films. Critics were divided by Lazenby's performance. Some praised his physicality and vulnerability, while others felt he lacked charisma. Over time, On Her Majesty's Secret Service has been reappraised as one of the best Bond films, particularly due to its faithfulness to the novel, emotional depth, and stunning cinematography. But many modern-day directors, including Christopher Nolan, cite On Her Majesty's Secret Service as an influence, particularly films like Inception and The Dark Knight Rises. Daniel Craig's Bond films, especially No Time to Die, borrowed heavily from On Her Majesty's Secret Service, including using Louis Armstrong's "We Have All the Time in the World" in the score. So,
but were they a reference of what not to do?
Well, listen, we all know how you feel. I mean, I don't hate this movie, but like, it's not one I'm going to revisit often. It's like too emotional of a movie.
For one, let's get with the emotional thing. So he actually falls in love, but that don't stop him from banging other chicks.
No, yeah, he bangs 3 women in this movie, including the one he supposedly falls in love with and marries at the end before she gets killed. Which, by the way, you fucking saw coming, because no Bond movie's going to end on a happy note. They talk about him like he's frustrated.
What are you talking about? Every Bond film ends on a happy note. He's always having sex at the end of it.
That's true.
That's like,
he went through a lot of stuff.
That's a different kind of happy ending. That is a different kind of happy ending. But what bothers me, like, one of the most ridiculous things in this movie is the fucking love montage they throw into the middle of this, because the asshole's on leave for 2 weeks. So you're telling me he goes back to Switzerland, wherever the fuck this crime boss, by the way, he's staying with, and to fall in love with his daughter. They do this whole fucking montage, and now he's he's there for 2 weeks. Like, he's literally on break for 2 weeks. This whole montage feels like it's supposed to cover like a significant amount of time.
Yeah, like they're dating for like a year.
This movie is an hour longer than it needs to be.
I agree with that right there. Like, that was something that bothered me about this movie. Like, when the fuck is this shit going to be over? Like, there's no reason for this movie to be 2 hours and 22 minutes or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, it was. Actually, it was all twos.
Yeah, it
like,
definitely it goes back to a formula after this. They're like, nah, we're not gonna follow the books that closely.
and honestly, the other one of the other most ridiculous scenes in this movie is where she's driving the car and they're running away from Fraulein and people from this observatory or whatever the fuck it is. And they go into that racetrack and she's literally yelling for 5 minutes, "How do I get out of here?" And he's not saying a fucking word.
Nope.
Like, he doesn't know what to do. Like, he's scared shitless.
He went around the
Until
loop like 3 times. Like, go out
Yeah.
where you came in.
No, she keeps asking, "What do I do?" He doesn't say anything. He just keeps looking back, and then finally they crash behind him. He's like, "Now I have an answer. Let's go that way." I'm like, what a fucking top-notch spy.
Yeah. No.
All right, but we have established that the top-notch spy is basically just like, that's why he didn't answer, because he's like, I don't know. Luck usually kicks in about now.
Yeah, but this guy, I'm sorry, like, this guy made me appreciate Sean Connery so much more. Like, this guy had no personality for me. Like, I thought he brought this movie down.
That, you know what's funny is you said that in the group chat too. You're like, I don't fucking like this guy at all.
Dude, he looks,
fuck this other
listen,
Bond.
this hurts me to say because of the movies I enjoyed of these other actors, but this guy, George Lazenby, looks like a cross between Bruce Campbell and Chevy Chase.
Okay.
And certain, like, when the angles are right, I'm like, what the doesn't make sense. And the fucking ski scene is stupid too. When he's trying to get away on one ski, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hated it too. Yeah.
Wow.
I got a theory by the end, anyways. So, Tess gets
Tracy.
shot. Tracy. I think Moneypenny told the lady where he's going to be.
Ooh.
Wow.
Maybe they get the info from Moneypenny.
Because she was at the wedding.
She was
She
crying.
was upset that he got married. So she called and said, hey, they just left the wedding. She put a hit on him.
Here's what's going to mess you up about Moneypenny and M. Q always looks old. Q always looks the same, even when he's with Pierce Brosnan. Like Moneypenny, like when you go back to that first movie, is young.
Mm-hmm.
She's a young receptionist who just looks up to a little bit older of a James Bond. By the time you get into like the Spy Who not Spy Who Shagged Me, The Spy Who Loved Me, Spy Who Shagged Me is a different movie. The Spy Who Loved Me, like she's almost a senior citizen. Like she looks like a lot older. It's a lot older, and like, you know, Roger Moore's just younger. So you're just like, wow, like and it's supposed to be the same person. It's just like, just luck, man. James Bond don't crack.
Listen.
Then there was a blizzard. They go hide in a barn.
I didn't like this movie. I really didn't like this one. Like, I liked the one before, but this one brought me back to the first two movies. It was just kind of
no, they're better than for
the first hour of this. Even the fucking cuts between scenes, it's so fucking choppy and everything. Like, it's jumping around all over the place. Like, that was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Do you think that your opinion would maybe be a little bit different if you didn't know that Connery's coming back for the one right after this?
No, I just think that I think Connery. I agree with Chris. Like, I don't dislike the guy in this movie as much as Chris did, but I do think Connery was just a way better Bond than this guy was.
I'm curious. I'd love to know what the other options were and why they settled on this guy.
I think he
just impressed looking like Sean Connery. Yeah, they impressed him.
I think it really became when Connery got like annoyed. And this is just the tea. Like, I don't know if this is like legit. It was just rumors that I've like looked through and read and stuff, and like people have said Connery got annoyed and You Can Only Live Twice. It was like I guess he sort of felt like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, and in his mind, I think it was like a bit of ego where it's like, they can't make James Bond without me. And in their minds, it was like, you are replaceable with anyone.
Yep.
And the funny thing is, they both sort of proved it right with this movie, because I think with this movie and bringing in a relatively unknown, I think that was like sort of their ego of like, we can make anybody. We can make James Bond. Anybody will be a star from James Bond, right? Because they tried to offer Lazenby a 7-picture deal. And James Bond, he turned it down, like, or something, like, you know, from what I was reading. And so I think they sort of just proved each other right, because I think when this movie did all right, like it made money, but like it just, like, it was mixed reviews. It wasn't as big. Like, I think Connery was like, all right, I probably didn't do as much these past few years. I'm coming back to do this. They kind of made amends. I think they realized, like, oh, all right, we'll just bring Connery back and then look for somebody new, because there was kind of that understanding, like, he's only going to do one more.
They threw a bunch of money at him to come back too at the time.
Yeah, and it was like the one more, and then they were going to search for somebody new. So, because I think this movie kind of proved the fans were fine with it being somebody new. Like, Connery's getting old, and I think Diamonds Are Forever, the next one after that, further proved it was like, ooh, he's kind of aging out of this. But I am glad that they went with somebody like Roger Moore, who was a seasoned actor for like 20 years. You know, I think he adds a lot more.
Well, the thing about James Bond is his age range and just the stories is like late 30s, early 40s. So that gives you a wide. That kind of gives you a wide range to look at.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, like, I think it does work with all of them being connected. And I'm in it to win it, man. And then the villains get better and better when they get away from Blofeld. Like, that's what this small, like, the whole thing has sort of been Spectre the whole time, but and Blofeld we always knew was sort of at the helm of that. But the thing about these 3 movies in particular, and Diamonds Are Forever, the next one, is the villain is Blofeld, played by all 3 different actors. You know, like, so for me, I was like, I kind of enjoyed the fact that they, in the first Roger Moore, was like, kind of said, no, that's not how this is going to be. And every villain since has been interesting.
You can't keep doing the same guy over and over again, because there's only so many arcs you can roll with.
But it's not even just not the same guy. It's like a completely, like, there's an in-depth story about each of them. Like, the man with the golden gun, the guy is the top assassin in the world, the most expensive assassin, because he can just hit anybody from anywhere. And now he's coming after James Bond because, like, he's the ultimate. Like that was such a cool, grounded, but still has all that, like, craziness that you see in Bond. And then, like, you get to other ones, like, where they have the submarine car and, like, other shit, you know, like, and it's been just a lot of fun seeing how this has grown from here to here, you know, and like, especially how the villains have changed over time. How it went from, like, a different villain each movie, then to, like, same villain, boom, 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 then to different villains. Where next one for me is Christopher Walken's the villain.
Ooh,
oh, nice,
you know?
Interesting.
So that's some interesting.
Like, this whole, it wasn't even just the change in the Bond actor for this movie. This had a whole different feel to it. You talked about them trying to make something more accurate to the book or something like that. Now, I haven't read the books. I don't know. Maybe it is. But just the tone they set with the first Connery movies before this was clearly a shift. Like, even when he's fucking sitting there trying to break into the safe and he pulls out a Playboy hidden in the magazine and he's walking through the hall with it afterwards. And the paper, I like, there's just a whole different feel to this, even with the spy shit going on, that I'm not interested in.
Yeah. No, I agree with it.
Sex addict. He even stole the fucking Playboy. You had to look at it while
and
he was leaving.
This went from, I don't even know what this went from, but it ended up to James Bond's House of Horrors. With him trying to bang everybody in this mountaintop fucking observatory.
Pretending to be a geologist or something.
Pretending to be some kind of family tree researcher.
And knowing that they're brainwashed didn't stop him either.
A genealogist. I don't know why I said a genealogist.
Blofeld's brainwashing women to go out and kill people, and Bond's just trying to bang them all. I'm like,
Yeah, he is.
He tried to snap him out of it.
Oh wow.
He didn't try that hard.
Out of it. He didn't have to.
Yeah, because he just has normal
in the room and they were ready to go.
Yeah. He tries to line 3 of them up an hour apart. There's the scene at dinner where he's sitting there and the woman writes like her room number on the inside of his leg. This is the only time I laughed. He looked off. Somebody asked him Fraulein asked if he was all right. And he's like, oh, just a bit of stiffness coming on. So there's a boner joke in there, which I didn't expect.
Chris, what's the fuck count in this one? If I missed it, I apologize.
He bangs 3 women in this.
Nice.
Back to back.
One after he falls in love.
After he falls in love.
So Bond is also a cheater.
I was gonna say, what do you guys think about a married Bond? I don't like it.
That's why
I liked the concept of like he fell in love and like it was a sweeping, quick relationship and they got married and then she got like murdered mercilessly. So like
I don't mind that.
I didn't mind that. You know, that seems like a good change, and especially if you have like a long series of books about one character. Kind of shake it up.
He kept going though. Every mission he would have cheated on her.
I mean,
we don't know that. Going to stop sleeping with the women?
I think the timeline fucked it up in this. Like they rushed that relationship.
Yeah, it was very.
Again, he's on leave for 2 weeks, and now they have this like month-long looking montage. Like they should have ended this movie with them married and have her killed in the next one. I think that would have been more impactful.
Okay. Yeah, because then I guess you can kind of build on the relationship more. You care more about it, but because it happened so fast in one movie,
this was a lot to try to cram in. Even though this was 2 hours and 20 minutes, to have Bond fall in love to the point where he's basically given up banging every woman he comes across.
So Mick, for the next movie, does this affect him at all? Or does he go right back to being
okay? That's actually another theory for it. Like in the next movie, no. In the next movie is back to formula with James Bond. They don't mention that it like didn't happen or anything, but like they don't with any of the movies.
Yeah.
But in Roger Moore, I think it was Moonraker. Maybe I'm fuzzy because I'm like into them all. It actually might have been Live and Let Die. Is where he is at his wife's grave, and it says Teresa on it. You know, Teresa, and he's at his wife's grave, and then he's getting chased, and that's when like it becomes this whole big thing. So, so like they do reference it, and maybe this is where I'm getting it mixed up. It might have been Moonraker. Somebody says to him, it was like, "You had a wife who died," and he's like, "I don't talk about that." So like it is referenced, and that's how you know it's connected.
The other biggest fucking for lack of a better term, loophole in this movie, this stupid bobsled fight between him and Blofeld is so goddamn dumb.
Did it make you think of Cool Runnings?
It did. Only because I haven't watched many bobsled movies, of course.
He's hanging out the back of the fucking thing, getting dragged.
But no, like this eventually ends with him like lifting up Blofeld, and he gets caught in that tree. You're telling me they don't go back? Like he's passed out in this tree, like practically dead. I don't know if he's passed out.
I thought he broke his neck and he died.
I thought, yeah, I know. You're telling me they just fucking leave him there? Like they don't go back and check? They don't capture him? He's not going anywhere.
Mandator, a Spectre?
Yeah. Yeah, like how is nobody going after this guy? He's clearly incapacitated and available to grab. And Sean Connery just fucking after the bobsled crash runs away, like which leads to him and the drive-by for shooting his wife and everything at the end. Like it doesn't that part. Like this is stupid.
I didn't like this one.
Can I say one thing too about like the connection we're talking about? How we're getting into different Bonds now and how
of course.
Skyfall, right? And I'm pretty sure I read this back in the day, and this so it means it has to be true. Skyfall is this in that movie. James Bond, Daniel Craig's James Bond, has to go home, and it's in Scotland. And there's an older gentleman, I believe it's played by Albert Finney in the movie. But from what I understood, it was supposed to be Sean Connery. They wrote it to get him back to play sort of the guy who raised him. And that's where you were going to get this idea of like James Bond had retired, and this kid that he raised kind of took over the James Bond mantle. And I thought with the Lazenbys and the Roger Moores and the connection, and I'm going to assume Timothy Dalton, and knowing that the Daniel Craigs and the Pierce Brosnan are connected because of M, I wish they had gotten that done and got him to be in it, because that would have been a really funky, weird, cool connection to round all of this out. But fuck League of Extraordinary Gentlemen for ruining that.
Yeah.
Is that he's after that movie, he retired and said, I'm never coming back. So whatever.
Oh, and I gotta say this. That James that I slapped the shit out of in 3rd grade, I'm sorry. It's time for me to finally apologize for it. It was
You're not the worst James Bond. It's George Lazenby.
I didn't need to slap you like that. I apologize. You weren't a Bond, though. If you were a Bond, I would have slapped you harder.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, he hit me first, so I had to retaliate.
Wait until you get to the next couple of movies, then you'll say that true.
I can't wait. I hope they're better than this one. Speaking of this one, let's dive into those ratings. I have my rating already. I gave this one a 4.
I'm right there with you, actually. I had 4 in my head the whole time.
It was a little bit long for me, but I still think it was okay. So I'm going right down the middle. I'll go 5.
Okay.
You can go 6.
Oh, you like this one better than the first one, Nick?
Better than you can.
Than the first one we did today.
Yeah, for sure. Like that, because it's still a pretty well-rounded story. I like Diana Rigg. She plays a really good character in this. Lazenby is short on charisma, but I think he did fine with the action. It wasn't that big of a deal. Telly Savalas wasn't bad. He was actually a step up from Donald Pleasance's Blofeld, but only because I don't feel like Donald Pleasance got to play with the character enough.
Fair.
This Blofeld was in a lot of this movie.
And it kind of gave out the vibe of Lex Luthor.
Yeah, and I thought that was where they're rounding out who Blofeld is a little bit more. So I liked his take on it more. I mean, Donald Pleasance, the look and the vibe and everything from You Only Live Twice, but is iconic. But I thought Telly Savalas really kind of added a depth to Blofeld with this, which I appreciated. And emotional ending, very well done. Yeah, it is a little too long. I do agree, but yeah, 6 I think works for me. Honestly, I mean,
that
after watching
was another thing between the interactions with Bond and Tracy. Like, he pays her debt at the card table, and then meets her in the room. He's literally pushing her away and telling her to get dressed. And then less than 3 seconds later is trying to hit on her and ban her again. Like it doesn't make sense. Like, it was all off. There was nothing about anything in this movie that felt organic.
Oh, is this the one beginning where she tries to drown herself?
Yes.
So Bond stalks her. He don't even know who she is.
Yep.
He stalks her. Then he sees her go to the water. He goes, "Oh shit, I gotta save her because I need a banger."
Well, I think no.
We don't know that he wouldn't have tried to save her if she was ugly.
Listen, I think what you had here was It's a Wonderful Life scenario that they would have cut out on Amazon, but she was feeling down and wanted to unfortunately unalive herself, which was never the answer to anybody. And I don't make light of this, but James Bond got there before, I guess, Clarence with his oh my God, there's a woman in the vicinity. I have to try and have sex with her.
Yep.
And that's just what happened. So
maybe he has a magic penis.
No, I think he just has luck and maybe a well-sized penis.
You know what's funny? Which one of these movies where this motherfucker took his pants off? She was like, "So it is true."
That was this.
Was that this one or the other one?
No, that was the last one.
How does she know?
that
all
was
the
this
dead
one.
girls talk.
That was
Yeah.
this one.
They have to.
He banged. Yeah, he drops his pants.
Well, there's
for-
more survivors. I'm shocked that all the girls he slept in this one didn't die, except for Tracy.
His
Because
wife.
they just
There you
they
go.
got on a bus and left.
Well, no,
And
they
they had
don't
to go
all
find her.
die. They don't all die in every movie.
No, I said they don't. I said I'm shocked there's so many survivors. Because all the women
They
usually
all
die when you
survive.
have
I would say they all survive, except for one. There always has to be one that's sort of like a betrayal or some crazy stuff, or connected to the villain in some way.
Mm-hmm.
It seems, and that's like where he gets his license to kill.
Oh, that was another thing that broke. Because usually every woman he sleeps with was like part of the boss, like the villain, like sidekick of the boss.
Tied into it some way, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, there's definitely a formula to the storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
This one doesn't follow directly. You could definitely tell this is more like a book.
See, and it's funny you say that because I didn't realize that this was Bond was a book until you told me when we were talking the other day.
Yeah,
Have you
even
read any of
with
them?
the creator.
Everything's a goddamn book.
Two Girls, One Cup was not a book.
I haven't read
Every
anything. of them,
franchise is like based off books usually.
Yeah, no, I
unless
haven't
you
read
go
any.
horror.
Yeah,
Unless you
it's
go
not
to horror, that's different.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. But
Casino Royale was first one.
what do you guys think? What any last thoughts of these either one of these films? Before
Yeah, I got a last thought. Fuck you, Aaron. You're making me watch a fucking movie. English
What movie?
Patient.
Listen,
English
we don't know
Patient?
that 100% yet. That has nothing to do with Bond or Bond of this week.
Majesty
Well,
Secret Service, least favorite Bond movie so far.
No.
No, the
No.
first two were like the first
Yeah.
two I gave a 3 and a 3.5, but this isn't that far behind.
No,
I
this
can't
one-
remember
this is
which one
my
I like
least-
better
This
than
is
the
my
first
least
two,
favorite
but-
so far.
They were more boring.
I'm actually see what you guys think of the next number of movies.
I hope they keep getting better and better. I hope so.
Honestly, I don't know why. I think it's because of the GoldenEye game. I'm excited for the Pierce Brosnan ones.
It'll be interesting to revisit those for sure.
But yeah, I've never seen them before. Played the game, loved the game, had a great time with the game, which I do feel. As a matter of fact, I'm saying this shit right now.
I ain't
We all
playing
have a
them.
Nintendo Switch. We need
You
to
got-
play that game with each other.
Yeah, we got to make it happen.
I would and do it.
that
I
on
think
there?
on a Popcorn Pints live, I can be the one that streams it. We could all be on here. I
Is
can
that
stream
on
it
there?
from my
Can we
TV and
do
all
it?
that. Yeah, it's on the. It's
Or
on
like
there.
for first-person shooter games, but fine. All right, you just
Are
tell me
you-
what I got to do. Do I got to get a video card?
I usually hate
I,
first.
I can stream the capture card thing because it's still split screen shit, so I can put that on screen. You guys just have to be here on restream on the mics and playing your switches.
Oh, all right, fine. We can do that.
But we should do. I think we should do that the week after Bond is done, and then do our, which we won't say them now, but then do our 2 weeks of raunchy movies, and then get into whatever we get into next.
I say the episode, because GoldenEye is going to be the first movie in the episode. I say we just play, like we start at like 7 or 8, and we'll just play until the episode, and then just review Golden.
Review the movie.
GoldenEye,
Okay,
and I think Tomorrow Never Dies.
we can do that too.
We'll record like as a Patreon, like before we do
GoldenEye.
the review.
Are we going GoldenEye or Brown Eye? Because there's a big.
Oh, he's gonna put it in a brown eye during that movie. I bet.
yeah, that's
I
right.
hope he does. I hope he does. No Magnum.
That was going to be the sequel. The follow up to GoldenEye was going to be Brown Eye. I read that. It's true.
007, Brown
I
Eye.
will tell you, you know what? This would have been a cool
Double O
movie.
something.
I understand why they didn't remake it, because they don't remake any of the Bond movies because they're all connected. But I thought it would have been cool if Daniel Craig's version of James Bond did a version of this movie.
2 in a pink, 1 in the stink.
All right, I'm going to bed.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
Saturday. I got a beautiful woman standing upstairs.
Oh.
I'm not talking about the revolution.
You guys talking about Bond?
You're talking about a bond of
The
marriage.
old Brown Eye.
You should go in a room like Bond. Have the gun thing. Go in there. A Bond. James Bond.
No, he has to go in there and say Manhattan. Mick Manhattan.
Yeah. there you go.
I might use my real name.
There
And
you
then
go.
be in a robe and just get naked.
Shaquille
Fuck
O'Neal Jr.
Just play out a Bond scene. Just throw her on the bed and just.
I just want to thank Grandma for watching. Thank you, Grandma Susan.
Oh, by the way, a lot of
that's
people
not
in the
what
chat tonight. Thank everybody for joining.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, thank you everybody for like commenting along and having fun.
Oh, hell
Yeah.
yeah. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys
Subscribe.
tuning in,
Hit the
listening
like
to our
button,
shit.
yeah.
Sorry if I
Yeah.
ruined Bond for you by my
It's
fucked
true.
up
James
stuff.
does that.
He does.
I ruin everything. You know.
I
But hit that sub button, though. Hit that subscribe button on Popcorn and Pints, please. Hit that subscribe button on
Hit that ding.
the scene signs. The scene signs. The scene stops.
The scene signs.
Every fucking
Forward
YouTube
for
video, I
30.
see, like, please subscribe. Make sure you subscribe
Yeah,
and hit
hit
that
that
Aaron,
ding.
I think there's an important message to take us out with.
There
for the
is a
viewers
very
out there.
important message that we're going to end this off with before we
boy.
do that again.
He's our
Scene
inspiration.
Snobs, Horror Research 30, Popcorn and Pints. Now, this is the guy that inspires us more than anything.
This is
more
why
than
we do
Bond,
the show.
This is why
more
we
than
do what we do.
Jungle. This is why we are here. This is why we do anything in life.
why?
And that's the bottom line. Because the Master Shake says so.
I believe that's Bond approved, 007 approved.
It is. If Bond could
definitely
jump
Popcorn
through,
and
if we ever watched Bond jump through a table, that's exactly what it
I
looked like.
want to see a James Bond movie where one of the henchmen's just like, "Oh, you think you're the man? I'm gonna jump through this table," and he just follows James Bond around. And
He jumps through tables. Listen, that's our James Bond. That's our Bond mimosa
That's
right there.
Tim Mimosa's Bond villain.
This is our Bond. This is our Bond mimosa right here.
Oh my god.
And with that said, people, thanks for popping by. I hope you have a great night, a great weekend.
See you
Peace,
next
peace, peace.
My God.
Fuck the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought the same thing. Oh my God. That's a